in video games now to adapt them into movies and shows.
In my last bit of news, I wanted to give a quick shout out to director and producer Ivan Reitman, who unfortunately passed away on February 12th. You might know his work through the years. Obviously, he was responsible for the Ghostbusters franchise, Bill Murray as Stripes, Twins, Kindergarten Cop, Junior, Evolution, and one of his newer films, No Strings Attached, with Natalie Portman and Ashton Kutcher, which is a surprisingly effective rom-com.
Yeah, dude, it definitely sucks, and definitely kind of hits harder after Afterlife.
Yeah.
What his son wanted, what the story was that his son wanted to tell, definitely it's a little harder now. So yeah, dude, definitely shout out to one of the GOATs.
I thought it's pretty awesome that he was able to witness like the Ghostbusters Afterlife and like it doing well, despite what everybody thought how it was gonna go. I felt like it veered well, and people enjoyed it, as they should. It was a great fucking story. It's probably the best one since the original, to be honest, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely. Since the first one, it was the best. I think I remember texting you right after I got out of the theater, like, dude, I fucking cried. Like, I bawled my eyes out. Because it hits fucking very close to home for people who lost somebody super close to them recently. But yeah, dude, it's definitely a bummer. Again, 2022 is not the business this year.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
To celebrate Black History Month, which is going on now until the end of February. Again, I cannot stress, I wrecked it last week, but Abbott Elementary, starring and created by Quinta Brunson, is fucking hilarious. You need to check it out. If you haven't, it's on ABC, streaming on Hulu like the next day. I love it. And this is my second time wrecking it, so go and watch that shit. I don't know if you've checked it out.
I haven't had a chance yet. You said it's streaming where? Hulu?
It's Hulu, yeah. It's ABC, so next day it's on Hulu.
That's right.
I think there's like 8 or 9 episodes right now. The cast is great. The writing's great. And if you like that type of show where, like the Office type, where they're speaking into the camera, it's good. My next rec is the newest Candyman by Nia DaCosta. I know you shouted it out for the year-end episode, but it's fucking great. I can't say enough good things about it. It was probably, next to Dune, it was probably my favorite movie last year, and it was a great experience to see in the theaters. So if you haven't already, check it out. Nia DaCosta directed it. Jordan Peele is one of the producers.
He co-wrote it as well, I believe.
Oh shit, okay. But yeah, dude, Candyman, very good. And then for my last rec, if you haven't already, which I'm sure most of you guys listening to this show have, one of the greatest of all time, go and check out Night of the Living Dead, starring Dwayne Jones is one of the first black actors starring in a horror movie role. I think the first one. A couple more recs I got are I just watched Spencer. It's streaming now on Hulu. Give Kristen Stewart fucking all the awards and the Oscar right now. Like, no one even show up to the fucking the events for those categories she's nominated, because she's gonna take everything. It's fucking good, dude. I know we've talked about it off air, but the whole movie, it's kind of, you feel like shit for her, and it's very overwhelming sense of fucking dread the entire movie. But yeah, go check out Spencer. And then for my last rec is, you brought it up in the news portion, but Jackass Forever. I've seen it twice. Once with obviously you, and then I took my parents to go see it, which they fucking loved. Kind of weird sitting next to my mom and dad with a whole bunch of dicks on screen, but whatever.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was a great ending to the older cast's time on the series. Brought back a lot of good memories. And I don't think I've laughed that hard in the theater in a while. So it's a good time if you're able to go see that in the theaters. Go check it out.
For my Rex, I had two for you. The first one is a Prime original. It's called The Voyeurs, starring Justice Smith and Sydney Sweeney of Euphoria fame. The film tells the story of a couple who becomes secretly obsessed with their neighbors from across the street after continuously spying on them. Basically, this is like a sexy time version of Disturbia. And I really dug it. It's only got a 43 on Rotten, and I feel like that's an unjustified rating. You think you know where it's going, and it completely throws you for multiple loops. I really loved the twists. I loved the acting. I loved just the way that you feel like you figured it out, and oh boy, you have not. So, yeah, The Voyeurs, streaming now on Prime. So good.
Is it it's new?
I think it might have. It's been out for maybe a couple years now.
Okay.
I think Sydney might have done this before even Euphoria started. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that, but I think it's been out for a little bit. But I just discovered it because of one of my coworkers. Shout out to Sam, who specifically told me, this movie's really fucking good. I know you have a podcast where you talk about movies, so watch the movie and give it a shout out on the show. So this is me giving a shout out on the show. What's up, Sam? And then my next and final rec, of course, we're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I thought it would be fitting for me to have a double feature, watch the first one from 74, and go directly into the Legacy sequel, which was just released Friday, which is today on Netflix, streaming everywhere. I had a really good time with it. I can't say too much because it's so fresh. It's only been out for a few hours now, or maybe a day by the time you guys are listening to this. But if you're a big fan of Leatherface, I think you're going to enjoy this. You know, I feel like the bar has been set pretty low with most of the sequels and stuff that's followed the original. And for what it's worth, like, I really enjoyed this one. It's a very simple premise. It deals with gender fires, which is pretty cool. You know, it's horror, or at least good horror, I feel like is infamous with talking about social and political, or having that kind of commentary, you know, strewn throughout it. And this is no exception. I thought that they did it in a very clever kind of way. I've read a bunch of people who disagree with that fact. I thought it was good. Nothing really bad to say, except for the runtime is literally the exact runtime of the original, which is about, I think, an hour and 24 minutes. So it flies by. It's way too quick, just because I would have liked to see a little bit more stuff fleshed out, or just had more time to enjoy what we got, you know. I guess they wanted it to be a real quick outing.
I haven't seen it. Definitely gonna check it out tonight, because I don't want anyone fucking ruining shit for me. Fans of everything are just aren't nowadays. Are just not satisfied. And don't get me wrong, there are things that like, obviously not everything is great, and you know, but there are things recently that I haven't enjoyed more than others. But we're getting a fucking Chainsaw movie in 2022. Like, Leatherface is back. Appreciate that shit instead of going on fucking the internet and writing shitty things about a movie. I don't know.
The fact that it's like the OG Leatherface, it's not a reboot, it's not, you know, some weird shit. Like, it's just retconning everything, and they're just like, here is this, you know, and then, yeah. So it's, I don't know. Yeah, people lack, people are, I don't want to say just the horror community, but just in general, I feel like a lot of moviegoers are not grateful enough for the people that are at least trying to bring us content, because they could just be like, hey, fuck you, like, this could be, you know, not do good for me because of people like that who are super detractors, and just do, like, you know, big blockbuster stuff because that's all that sells, or comic book movies, or whatever is big right now. But you have people that are taking risks for us genre fans, and then it's not helpful to just shit on them and then scare them away, and then we don't end up getting any new content, and then we're stuck with, you know, stuff from the past when we could be having stuff, you know, still be at least attempted in the now, is my point.
Fucking exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
For this new one, I had a little write-up for the synopsis, so I'll go ahead and read that before we drop into our main focus. So, a group of young adults arrive to the Texas ghost town of Arlo in hopes of bringing it back to life. However, they make a fatal mistake, which leads to another kill-crazy rampage by Old Man Leatherface. So, off the record, you gotta get back to me tonight once you watch this and let me know your thoughts, dude. I'm really interested. It also does have a pretty not great score already in Rotten. I think it's like 37 already.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's been out for less than 24 hours. I was like, you guys are so nuts, dude. I was like, I guess people forgot about this shit show that was Texas Chainsaw 3D.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
So, of course, we're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's rated R. It's from 1974. It's a horror/thriller. It runs at 1 hour and 23 minutes, which is insane, and it's got a smooth, well-deserved 89 on Rotten. It's written by Kim Henkel and Tobe Hooper, directed and produced by Tobe Hooper, starring Gunnar Hansen, Marilyn Burns, Terry Mulman, Edwin Neal, William Vale, Paul A. Pardon, and of course Jim Sidow. Set in 1973, Sally Hardesty and her brother Franklin set out on a road trip to Texas with a few friends to investigate a possible grave desecration involving one of their late family members. But what they encounter upon their arrival would go down as one of the most bizarre and violent crimes in American history. As most know, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is referred to by many as one of the most shocking and influential horror films of its time. Shot on a budget of just $140,000, and recruiting a group of lesser-known actors gives the film an intense and extremely realistic sensibility that allows it to age gracefully even by today's standards. Within the early 1970s, director Tobe Hooper, who was at the time working as a documentary cameraman, started to develop the idea for the film, pulling from real-life sources such as the notorious Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein, who himself was known for being a grave robber as well as mutilating the various bodies of women who resembled his late mother. The film itself opens up with the narration that claims the contents are based on actual events. However, the script and actual character of Leatherface and his family are entirely fiction. The idea To present the project this way was an effort to draw more attention and controversy while single-handedly calling out our government for the perpetual lies and cover-ups that were taking place at the time. When it came